was recommended by one of, I believe he went to school with me. That's how I know this person. Thank you for recommending this movie. I was very, very, very intrigued when I read the summary. It's a current movie. It's called Save Yourselves. I was like, okay, somebody trying to be funny. It must be looking at my whole life. Thank you, but well, anyway, so the opening scene, it had a couple. Now the couple, um, it's kind of like I thought it was a scary movie. Let me just put that out. It was a comedy, and so I was like a suspense comedy. I was like, okay, like the what if, because we're all sitting at home right now, thinking about what if that happened to me for real? Like what we see what people do in the movies, but they were acting more like how I would act. Unfortunately, they were more like me. So anyway, let me go back to the opening scene. The opening scene opens up, and it's a couple, and they are very into their careers and the relationship, and you could just tell that, and they don't have any children or anything. They're not married yet, but they're living together, and so they're at an interesting place in their relationship. And but anyway, they're about to have a very intimate moment, and um, suddenly the intimate moment is interrupted by the cell phone ringing. Like his phone started ringing, and she doesn't care that he goes to answer his phone because she's missing her text messages too. And so they just get on their phones. Like, very intimate moment. Not that I like TMI on in my movies. I could really do without the TMI, but it's just kind of sad that it was interrupted. Um, because of the cell phone, which bring it's kind of like a running theme through the movies, right? Like all of them have a like a situation where you're being overtaken by these devices. Um, I hope people are paying attention to what's happening to their life. They seem to have an agreement or understanding within their relationship. Like that was okay to have that intimate moment interrupted by the cell phone. And I wonder about us, like how many agreements that we have, how many other people out there have these type of agreements when it comes to cell phones. I know for me, I have adult children, and they will tell you that the rule is everybody put your cell phone down in the middle of the table, and whoever picks up their phone first has to pay for the whole meal. So it used to work. It used to work when they were young, younger adults. But then they got their own money, and so for them, sometimes it's worth it to just pay for the meal instead of listening to me talk. So I get free meals. Winning. But you understand what I mean. Young adults. If you're a parent, that's a good trick. If you put your phone down unless you want to pay for the meal. If you pay for the meal, then you can pick up your phone and text your friends. But anyway, um, I was happy in the movie that after that intimate moment was interrupted, that they actually had a real life event between the couple. They actually went out with their friends to a party. Problem with the party was they had a friend that invited them up to the mountains, and, and that's when it all. Considering what they were going through, it appeared to be a good idea. However, as the movie goes on, they they took the vacation. They took advantage of that free place to stay, and they decided to take it right when the aliens invaded. And it wasn't like normal aliens. That was the funny part about it to me. it wasn't like normal aliens. It was um little fur balls. Yeah, little like if ladies used to see the little fur balls that you have on your purses. It was those. But they were much bigger, and they started attacking people. And I was thinking to myself, I got fur ball on a couple of my purses actually. I don't know if I want it to attack me. I don't think I want it bigger. Uh, it's a thing. And then, um, the problem with the retreat was they set up there and they went on this retreat, and unfortunately, ladies, she caved first. She went and got her cell phone first. I know. And he came back, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, I just spoiled the movie. But it was messed up that she gave it up for the ladies. Like I wanted her to hold out, and I wanted him to be the one who couldn't stay away from the phone. She so disappointed me. I was like, come on. I do like her, Sunita Manny. I've seen her in a couple of other movies. She's really good. John Paul Reynolds was in this movie. Now I think I've seen him before with more hair, but I don't really know his work. Anyway, they're pretty good actors in this movie. I will say I don't know how to be a man. That was his declaration in the movie. I don't know how to be a man. When he came back and said those words, I was like, wow, that was a pretty powerful moment um in the movie when he was making that confession of his manhood and his fears and things like that. How often, I mean, and that was brought about by his inability to get to his cell phone and having to really self-reflect after they had an argument, as opposed to having the distraction of the cell phone. He went outside, started chopping wood, and really, had a moment of clarity. And he came back with, I don't know how to be a man. That was powerful. Um, the bubble. Oh yeah. Okay. At the end of the movie, yeah, spoiler alerts. They went into what's called a bubble that lifted them higher above the world, and they lived in there, and it went off. And it made me think: was this a metaphor? Comedy? Was it more symbolic than anything? And living in the bubble with a baby that they pretty much stole. I mean, they saved the baby, but yeah. I thought about it and I said, this could more likely be a metaphor for how we live than actual like comedy. Like with most comedics, I love comedies and I love comedians because they have a different perspective on life and they have alternative views and things like that. But I think this was when they did that bubble and lifted them up. I was like, oh, that's some next level type thinking there. But I encourage you to watch this movie. It's called Save Yourselves. I know I ramble a lot, but that's just how I do. Y'all gotta get used to that. And I recommend it. It wasn't what I was expecting. I guess I didn't really have an expectation. The title, the suspense of it all made me think another thing. And then, but I was pleasantly surprised and thoroughly entertained. So, thank you for the recommendation. If you have any recommendations, or if you think that I should watch a movie and you want to hear me ramble on about it, we'll take recommendations. I don't do scary movies, but I will do a movie that is current. Now that the theaters have opened back up, I have to watch Tenet again. That movie
is highly recommended. You can't watch it once though. You have to watch Tenet at least twice. I have to watch it again in order to do a review on it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys or your person or whoever thinks. Welcome to my movie. Welcome to the labyrinth of my mind.